I'm going to describe a type of schoolgirl stunt that would be possible with a network server array wall, and say exactly what the result of that would be. Most school students in Japan can defend themselves from the accusation by saying that they actually produce stuff of value. Virtually every woman in Japan falls under that qualification. Frankly, here's the thing, including everybody at a specific maid cafe, because they actually do the very tedious work of daily posts. I was just told women must actually do that for protection. They end up in trouble very quickly in Japan if they're producing nothing. For me, yeah, the problem when a man says he solves that problem by producing defenses against the problem. Well, please. So the thing is, that's a samurai way of dealing with solving the problem. Now, I'm first going to describe a type of router configuration that can occur in a building. This is compatible with certain understanding that exists in America. So let's assume that this is what was done. You're going to have a situation where you want to custom direct ports to specific computers. Here's a type of wall that would make sense and would be compatible with Japanese methods. One, the two bars are horizontal because if they're vertical, that creates too much association with something else. So this would be a bar of Ethernet ports on the top, and then an equivalent bar on the bottom. The way that the way that the system works is just the equivalent thing actually exists in audio engineering. All audio engineers who work in stadium understand this one. How that thing works is simple. The live ports are on the top, and then the just on the bottom is a physical. Please connect. Now, what will happen is that initially, of course, it'll be just a string of verticals. But network said at first we said they will probably put 2 or 3, please, slants. So it looks stupid. After the 10 years that system was installed at NHK, that thing would become random. So you now have a random thing. Here, for security, they wouldn't have a documentation of that. There would simply be a service person coming in with the order, and then he would do the exact connection required, and then leave. A possible schoolgirl stunt is I put a big heart thing in that. Here's a problem. What that would do is, since the initial assignments are random, that then randomizes all the room assignments. There's something called security dongles. First of all, here's what happened. At the moment they disconnected things, that was the moment Nico went down. What happened is, as they removed, connections, what happened is videos would then freeze. The video would simply freeze. In America, you had that spinning circle. In Japan, there would be a message, no signal. As they're doing this would result in a flurry of Twitter posts, because that's how they report problems in Japan. What they do for protection to avoid a problem is this panel is actually situated, because there's a huge panel. There is something in Japan called AKB48. The thing is, very few people want to actually venture into those halls. Very, very few people actually want to mention that's a horrible place for most people. Seriously, the thing is, any man going through that is going to be forced into sex because those women have sexual appetite so large. Seriously. So actually, some men who walk in there simply so that they're forced to do never any sex because that's what happens. A man that goes in there is going to be serviced by woman after woman after woman for eternity. So there are probably 3 or 4 men who are in that trap right now. Seriously. Therefore, actually modifying this wall would require moving our way through that. The samurai simply have a method of dealing with that problem without anybody actually getting hurt. Because they're samurai. Now, you have the problem that these women violators could easily walk through that. The problem is they could walk through that and go be like, hey, Rikumi! And of course they do their little mini performances they walk through there. So they would have been able to just slide through there. Then they come to this wall here in the back. And the thing is, here's a problem. They probably walk there with the actual police art thing. With some nonsense on how they're going to make how it calls love on the internet. There's a problem that all these people are constantly ringing love crap. So then they start disconnecting Ethernet. And then what happens is all over Tokyo, the person all over the planet, Nico freezes. With everybody seeing either that circle on a black screen or the actual message no signal. Here's the thing, in Asia, they know exactly what to do. In America, they were like, what the hell is wrong? Most people, frankly, very quickly, here's the thing, that caused terror in America. So I think most people, that required the church crap that came after that. The thing is, Nico is available in America by a thing operated by AT&T in places like San Francisco. At that point, they would have flipped the switch and basically to deal with it, resulting in the custom thing that would have appeared for a long time in America. You have a problem here in that none of those musicians that normally occupy that hall would even be aware of what's going on. Finally, the thing is, don't think police or anybody can go in there. That requires a strategizing. The thing is, they would know exactly what's going on. So the thing is, the first thing that would happen would be a call to various providers. Well, they figure out what they're going to do. Because obviously, there's a long-term solution to that. Because you do need a samurai. Because the thing is, you have to have accurate technicians get in there. Because the thing is, the actual process of repairing it would require both going into police, Sony offices, and another person in that vile thing, and a walkie-talkie and other stuff, while they very slowly reconnect everything. What would have happened is, internet would go on. The thing is, when these random connections are reestablished, Qualcomm just says, it's just because it makes sense. With the new connections immediately verified against a security dongle, at which point they would have been signed up, saying contact your administrator, and they will also just go home. The financial loss to Japan, of course, is in the billions. The thing is, those technicians walking there would have seen that crap. You have a problem. That actually would be a reality. That thing would be a big long haul, please. So the thing is, like they would have turned into this stupid thing of hearts on these panels. So I American teachers said, they said shit. I was like, okay, we'll be back in 2 days with clippers. And seriously, the first thing they would have been actually taking, please, little clippers. Putting it probably in a box with UN when they do whatever with Japan wants to do with that crap. Because I think they're also been hoping to trinkets and other stuff attached to that. So that will all go into a box with a big word UN on it. And then they pull all those little RJ things out. RJ telephone things out. And then run this whole process of rewiring Tokyo. Which means that this problem would have been horrible in Tokyo. But the Americans don't need it extend it. This is evidence for the attack against the station. One, I'm really the only person who Megumi Nakajima possibly has a future with. However, I must follow the law. I must follow international law, and when dealing with Japan, I must be cooperating with Japan thing. Seriously, I can't install, please, Ms. Nakajima as minister. That's never ever going to happen. Very likely the problem occurred here as a result of NVIDIA NVIDIA driver update that was directed specifically to my computer. Here's a problem. There's something called the Megumi Nakajima fan club. Behind that would be a lot of stuff that would be easy in Asia to pin people. There will be a lot of crap back there where people will run stuff that creates a very, very, very difficult situation for people. What very possibly happened is that these women very likely said that they're going to run please crap promotion against specific people. Basically gives them no choice but to run a gun against AMD China, which would have resulted in the custom firmware update to my computer. That firmware update would have been specifically designed to remove the NVIDIA BIOS from my system. It would then have restarted the card, causing the audio video. The result is that very possibly that card in my computer is now crap. The thing is, the insiders know that I have exactly one production computer. The reason for that is obvious in this situation that avoided a huge, huge problem. Seriously. You get less violence if all I have to do is take down one computer than if you're taking down an entire police skyscraper. We're not sure of the status of that NVIDIA card. I'm going to do various things. But for general prosecutorial reasons, we should assume that they paid people to put a malware and a custom Windows update, therefore creating a situation where they successfully paid people to just find some way of basically running a false report or something else. They possibly made the argument, well, he has backups. Thinking that somehow legitimizes that crime. The mechanism of Windows update combined with enough people, enough scared, would accomplish it. There is now the actual situation of there being no video on this device. Whether or not that's being revealed is dealing with something else, because the thing is, the truth is Tesla deals with worse every single day for the same bullshit reasons. When these women try to run crap against them. That makes this attack normal. What doesn't make it normal, what makes it not normal is the fact that they know that this is UN